Okay, so here we are with our normal setup. This is where the center channel is originally. And as you can see, the tweeter right here is about, let's say, 2 feet off the ground. And the tweeter here, we got about, let's say, a little over 3 feet. Okay? So, at least a 12-inch difference between the two. Now, the idea with the tweeters is to keep everything at ear level where the listener is sitting. You also want them on the same plane, hopefully. It'll help to blend the front stage together. So we're going to prop this up about 9 inches. The only reason I can't go to 12 inches is because the bottom of the TV won't allow that. You don't want to block the view of the TV, but you want the center channel as close to the bottom of the TV as possible. So we're going to prop this up about 9 inches, and that should give us a better blend of the front stage. Alright, so here's our makeshift stand, just to get an idea of what this thing looks like and is going to sound like. That is 9 inches exactly. So now that we know our dimension, we are going to build and assemble our center channel riser stand out of steel to match this 2-inch black stock steel that we have here. Right now I have the CS-8080HD, which is made by Definitive Technologies, or DefTech, and it's a very monstrous 5 1/4 mids, and you got a tweeter, and then there's a sub in there, a powered subwoofer. I got these little magnetic angles, and they're going to hold everything together while I tack it in place. And then I'm going to assemble the rest of it, weld the rest of it, and then finish it off with some self-etching paint. It's a paint and primer in one, made for metal, made for raw metal. And I think that would be pretty much it. Hopefully I don't run into any snags, but I figure you guys would like to see something like this, so let's get started. Alright, we're going to do a safety check here. We have our auto darkening face mask. We have our beanie, which is going to keep the sparks from hitting our head. We have our welding gloves. We have our welding jacket. What we should also have is a welding blanket, which is on order and hasn't come in yet. So we don't have that. And maybe have some sort of apron or welding, shoes, with the little leather thing. You can really go overboard with safety if you want. I don't want to make it sound like it's not important, but budget and time only allows for so much, so we're going to be as safe as we can with what we have. And I think this is pretty good. So put the helmet on. It's auto darkening, so I don't have to flip it down, and we're just going to tack these things in place. Unfortunately, the welder that I have is not a very good welder. It was about 90 bucks on sale at Harbor Freight. Anybody that knows anything from Harbor Freight is going to be a great price, but the quality is questionable sometimes. Now, so far, this has actually done me pretty good. If you can work with its weaknesses, it works actually pretty good, but it only has minimum and maximum in terms of voltage, and then you can control the wire speed. So it's not optimal, but for 90 bucks, it's great, and it's brand new. I got it on a little cart here. So I'm just going to tack these in place right now. Alright, that's satisfactory for me. I might want to flip this thing over, tack the other side, make sure it's all level before I go and weld the entire thing. Alright, we used our right angle to check all the angles, and they're square. So we are going to tack the other side, and then we could remove our magnets. You feel pretty good to me. Alright, now I'm just going to weld the rest of them and should be done with this part. Alright, you too can make ugly welds. It's good enough, it'll hold it together. Alright, here I tried to get a little creative with the layout of this whole thing. The way that the cabinet is structured right now kind of mimics this. It's painted in a black gloss. And it doesn't have a bar on the bottom, but it does have this kind of like arch over the front, and I figured I would match that design-wise. Again, this is a project that I kind of gave myself, but I'm going to have this thing for a while, and why not make it look nice at the same time? I'm going to have to stare at it every day. Plus, this is nice and heavy-duty metal. It's not going to move, and it's not going to vibrate, so it's going to be great for our hefty center channel. Now I'm just doing one last check to make sure that everything is at a right angle. We have a much better chance of this being at a right angle because of the magnets. They're machined that way, but this can go either way if it's not lined up properly. So measure twice, weld once. We also want to make sure it's the proper height, which is 7 1/8. 7 1/8. 7 1/8.